Alright guys, so this is going to be your event guide for the Christmas 2020 event that's going to be both on the JP and the NA version of the game. I'm going to actually try to have this be both the JP and the NA guide, so that's going to be a little bit different because both of these events are a little bit different but not entirely different, right? Like, this should still apply for both versions. If you notice like one little thing off, it's because I'm trying to force both guides into one video because I really don't see a point of being like, well, here's your NA event guide that has like these three things that are different, and here's your JP guide that has these three things different. Like, there's no point in wasting anybody's time making two videos for an event that is functionally the same exact thing on both versions of the game. Now, if you notice my white quality is like a little bit different, that is because my PC exploded. So I'm currently trying to get that fixed, and I'm using my little rinky-dinky laptop setup to still get you guys content. So, hey, if you like daily FGO content, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, because even when my PC blows up, I've only had it for a year, I'm still trying to get you guys this content. I'm making sure that you guys are informed. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into this video. First and foremost, what servants can you use to farm this event? And you'll look at this and you'll say, probably, well, if you have Vitra, you're probably doing really well, because despite, like, even if she has, like, super effective or anything like that, right, you could bring her, like, type neutral and she'll be fine because she's rocking this big, bad 100% special damage mod, right, because she's an event bonus servant. But let me just go ahead and pop that bubble real quick. The last two nodes, one of them is a Lancer node that you can do with Jason. You don't even need someone like Muramaso if you're on JP. You can just do it with Jason. He does it just fine. And the last node is a 2-1-2 Archer node that you can do with Buster farming if you're on JP with like Lancer Artoria or Ereshkigal. But even if you're on the NA version of the game, you can kind of just force your way through because it's a 2-1-2 node with like double Castoria plus any decent farmer. And would you look at that, Meltalilith is a Lancer that is arts that can also get the job done, right? Even Hokusai to an extent can get the job done if you're able to kind of just force your way through like the event. You can just brute force your way into it. If you're on the JP version of the game, someone like Arjuna Alter could also be pretty decent for this event. He has a 30% battery, plus the 20% of pen skill can allow him to have that like fake 50% battery that Buster servants love to kind of allow them to just kind of fake Buster farm, I guess is the way that I would say it. But realistically, you don't really have a whole lot of farming servants here. You have a lot of like really good challenge quest servants, I would say, which is why, I mean, towards the end of the video I was going to talk about like, oh, here's how you beat the CQ, but this CQ is literally like 2 years old on the JP version of the game. You're just gonna crush it if you're over there. Like, it's really not that hard. And even if you're on the NA version of the game, you've been prepping to beat people like Serranos for the last like 2 years ever since he came out, so you're gonna crush this as well. Like, it is not up to the standards, right? It is not up to the standards of like modern insane boss battles. So like, I was gonna spend like 5 to 10 minutes over there, but realistically, if you're on JP, you're gonna crush it. And if you're on NA and you've been playing for any amount of time, you're probably gonna crush it because you've been preparing for much harder fights. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the free stuff you get from actually doing this event. First and foremost is the CE. The CE is actually pretty dang good. So you're going to get a free max limit break on this thing that's giving you 50% NP gauge, a nice 8% quick buff, and a 15% NP damage buff. That's really good because, again, starting NP gauge is always very, very nice for certain farming nodes, or if you're just going into like a challenge quest and you know you at least need that guaranteed 50%. Very strong, and that quick buff and the NP damage buff are multiplying into each other for more damage. The quick buff is giving you more NP gain on your quick cards. All of that is really good. The only thing that kind of sucks is it's a split CE. If you don't know why that's kind of bad, you generally want your CEs to go all in on the attack, because an additional 2,000 attack, if you're able to ever like max level that CE, and if you ever get around to it, is far more impactful than 2,000 HP. Like 2,000 HP is almost never going to save your life, and you're gonna have like one or two guys in the comments being like, well, actually, that extra 2,000 HP let me live this random boss attack. Doesn't matter. The extra 2,000 attack is going to dramatically increase the amount of damage you're being able to do. It could turn your like 4 or 5 turn on a boss into a 3 turn, which kind of matters sometimes if you don't want to be fighting that boss for a long amount of time. So it's a little unfortunate, but if your box isn't as strong, this is still going to be a pretty decent CE for you to make use of. If you're like more of an established player, you probably don't need this, but again, it's fine. The different not the mystic codes, but the command codes that we're getting for this event are not bad either. This one is functionally just 3 stars whenever you attack with this card, so give it to someone that would appreciate just a few more stars and just random brave chains, right? They'll make good use of this. This one is literally slap it on to Siegfried, Sigurd, anybody that you bring to fight dragons, because they're going to get a nice 30% buster crit against those guys and just absolutely obliterate them into the ground. Other than that, slap it on your dragon guys, right? Like that's pretty much all you want to do. This one could be nice if you want to combo with anybody that makes use of poison. Slap it on your Robin Hood if you don't have any like premium servant, because he'll be able to make use of this because it'll just toggle poison onto the enemy whenever you attack with the card. And so if Robin Hood's poison skill is down and you still want to fire your NP, slap it on like an arts card or something for him, so that way he can also trigger it on his Norval Brave Chains and still turn on that special damage mod that he's got going. But the thing that you guys actually really... Why are we on the bottom of the page? The thing you guys really care about is the free quests. Okay, apparently I'm just not even here. So there's 2 main free quests you're going to be hitting for this event. The first one is this one right here. This one you can just use Jason for, and he'll absolutely crush it. Jason is one of those servants like Muramasa. In fact, I call him Baby Muramasa because he gets stronger as he fires his NPs, right? He's doing more damage, and he's looping a bit better every single time. So if you do that first node with, like, say, double Castoria Jason, and you're like, ooh, I don't know if he's going to be able to farm something like this, he'll be fine. Trust me, he will be able to loop it. He gets better with every single node. And so he'll be able to crush this absolutely fine on both versions of the game. Doesn't really matter. Get Jason, free to play, 1 star, not a big deal. This is the one that's going to be an issue for more people. If you don't have like some crazy buster farmer like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, like Ereshkigal or Lancer Artoria, like big buster Lancer AoE with a 50% battery that can just crush this, or say Morgan, because she's Berserker, 50% battery, she functionally does the same thing. You can try to force your way through this with an art setup. Quick, I don't believe can do this because you don't just get enough raw NP gain, but because you're fighting 2 enemies here, you'll still loop a decent amount of your NP. You might need to like maybe force a Brave Chain on this one, like if you have like a Melta Lilith, but then you can functionally kind of get this done. You can string away into getting this done with like some art setups. I don't exactly recommend it. Buster farming is definitely going to be the way to go, but obviously the NA version does not have Koyenskaya yet. The JP version does. But still, if you have like really, really good CE setups and you can actually like spam and do this, right, or you just have a butt ton of apples on the NA version, right, this is going to be something that's very, very good for you to go ahead and farm. So yeah, it's like, it's going to kind of depend on your box. Like the reason I'm maybe being a little vague about it is that like I can't just give you like, oh, if you're doing an art setup, here's like a general thing that everybody can do, right? Because like I don't know everybody's box, right? Whereas this one, Jason can do this. Everybody has access to Jason. So if you're more having questions about this one, or you think maybe a certain setup that your box is capable of can do it, come into the Discord, which is linked down in the description down below, and we can definitely help you out with this one, right? You can also try to like DM me on Twitter. I found out recently that my Twitter DMs have been closed for like the last 2 years. Did not mean for that to happen. So you can also DM me on Twitter or something if you're like, hey, do you think I could do it with this setup? I'll try to help you out with it, right? I'll try to help you out as much as I can. People in the comments will also try to help you. Generally pretty proud of my community for like being generally good. So if you're trying to farm this, you want to do like optimal setup because you've got like 150 gold apples, we'll try to help you out and help you like find something to be able to farm it. But other than that, it really shouldn't be like super stressful on the JP version. JP, this is a rerun. You get about 21 boxes total. On the NA version, you need to go ham taro on this and farm all of your EXP cards and your QP and everything, because we don't get a Lotto for a fat minute, I believe, on the NA version of the game. I'm getting them both mixed up because, you know, this is supposed to be for both NA and JP. But I hope, even though I'm a little all over the place trying to make sure that I cover everything for both versions that is relevant for both, while not like accidentally saying, oh yeah, Koyanskaya on NA or something like that, like not messing up something. I hope this video has helped you guys out and you're ready to tackle this event. On JP, this event is already live. On the NA version, I believe it's going live on Monday. I believe that is the schedule, but again, if I'm wrong, someone in the comments will definitely berate me for it. But again, if I'm wrong, go ahead and correct me, right? With all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully tomorrow my PC is fixed and we're back to your regularly scheduled programming, but I'm not gonna let some like random PC issue keep me from keeping you guys informed, all right? I'm dedicated to the cause. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace, late guys.